Okay, the full moon on June 4th through the 6th, which is going to be Thursday through Saturday. The sun is in Gemini, and the moon is 6 signs ahead, or back, if you will, into Sagittarius, and these are at opposite times of the year. Gemini is in June when spring is in its full flowering and it's almost time for summer and it's warm and it's green and those flowers and birds and there's just a lot of fun and light, positive energy in the air. And in the positive season. Opposite that is the negative season, or also called the off season. Well, Sagittarius, opposite today, on December the 4th, would be gearing up for Christmas. And December, it's exact opposite weather. Cold, it's going to be wintertime, you kind of dry, flu season starting up, I hate to say it. But, at that time of the year, it's kind of hard to talk about because it's not that time of the year. But it's getting pretty darn cold, and the one thing that I don't understand is the time of year for Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sign that is all about travel, freedom, adventure, and if you're talking about going up for Christmas and family and thankfulness and getting warm and it being cold, that does not make sense for me. Maybe if I moved to the southern hemisphere it would, but that really wouldn't be Christmas, would it? Or winter. So these are both mutable signs. Gemini is mutable air and Sagittarius is mutable fire. Gemini is the sign that is ruled by Mercury, the planet of thinking and communication. Sagittarius is the sign ruled by Jupiter, the planet of philosophy, the planet of higher learning, good fortune, expansion of experience, body, and of mind. Let's see here. What else about these two signs? The complements and opposites, we know that. One's represented by the twins, the other was represented by the Archer Centaur. So, this combination, and by the way, Donald Trump had this combination. So Sun in Gemini, Moon in Sagittarius is a complement. And this is very, very, this energy is uninhibited, speaking your mind and not wanting to be tied down, wanting freedom of speech and also freedom of action. Very childlike, very positive, very very outward energy, very fun, funny, a little bit fickle, and a little bit all over the place. Now, these are both mutable signs, and mutable means changeable, and changeable, wanting to change, very different from cardinal and fixed energies, without being, and so, with this, Gemini is the child. And I want to think of Sagittarius is because all the astrological signs are a time of life. So Sagittarius would be kind of like the older woman who was just kind of, medium to old age, got out of retirement, doing all this traveling and adventuring and, taking advantage of life and living it to the fullest before weakening and, becoming, physically disabled and getting, super old into that Pisces, and that Pisces, that really, really old person. So, let's see here. So, So Gemini, fun, all over the place, uses the intellect and the mind, and it's really, really good at just, just saying, just playing around with words, and, they are just an ill heart. Though it's fascinating, curiosity about everything, reading books, relationships and communication with others. And then Sagittarius is a fire sign. And I think that Sagittarius is very like Aries, and maybe Leo as well, but not really. Sagittarius, I want to think of it as Aries, because, it's still fire, it's still energy, freedom, passion, adventure, excitement, all those things. And Aries likes and is interested in and lives the same way that Sagittarius does. The only difference is time of year, modality, and also Sagittarius is a little bit more of an airy fire sign. Remember, all of the signs of the zodiac have an element with them, but they also have another element that influences that specific sign with that sign's given element. So, for example, with Sagittarius, we know that it's a fire sign, but yet in the fire there is an air element to Sagittarius. I was talking about the sign, so that's how it's called the air to the fire, or it could be the air to the water, in some other cases, because it's very, very airy, and it likes to explore, and likes to learn, and, to a more physical experience. So, so that's what I mean while calling it that. And Leo may be I'm the one that just is not seen. But so anyway, these two signs square to other signs. A square is when there's conflict, and there's resistance, and there's tension. So Sagittarius and Gemini and Sagittarius both square Virgo and Pisces, which they square Sag and Gemini and Sagittarius, Pisces and Virgo. So the lessons for these two signs is for Virgo, because they're all over the place, and they're just kind of clumsy, and very loud, and very talkative and fun and playful. Virgo grounds it down and says, what is concrete? What is an actual practical idea? And remember, Virgo is air to the air to the air to the earth, so it uses its mind. And I think that the one element for the mutable modality has to be air. Gemini is very airy. Virgo's pretty airy, using its mind and analysis and details. Sagittarius is airy, as I've already talked about, and Pisces is very airy because Pisces is the air to the water, because it thinks and it imagines and it uses its mind, and it's an escapist and has fantasies. But still with the water being emotional and romantical and sensitive. So mutable is definitely air. And let's see here. And I have to say that fixed is earth, and cardinal, I have to say fire. But I don't know. So, but anyway, astrology, the purpose of it is to be applied. And so we've already learned about Virgo and how it can ground down. What goals can we make? How can we fine-tune? Organization. All of those things that, Virgo is all about cleanliness. Pisces is about kind of escaping, and it represents peace and represents emotion and dreams and the unconscious mind. And we're going to get into the Virgo-Pisces polarity when Virgo season comes in at the end of the summer. But so anyway, Sagittarius, I've already talked about Sagittarius, freedom, not wanting to be tied down. So thank you very, very much, and I'll see you for the next horoscope. Now, flip of this horoscope, coming up next, is the horoscope of a family member. And this is a very, very countering. And this next horoscope, this next sun-moon combo, they could learn a lot from each other and offer each other, because it's so different, a lot of very, very different outlook on life. And they could really influence and definitely complement each other very, very well. Conflict, tension, struggles, but it'll be very, very successful. So remember that the sun is ego, vitality, basic personality, rules Leo, moon, emotion, quiet, soft, sensitive, that rules Cancer, the lion and the crab. So, thank you all for joining me for that horoscope, and I will see you on June 7th.